Could you handle this £150,000 trade? Uh-oh, what am I talking about here? Well, over the course of the past few months, I had previously been I can talk about it now because I'm not in it anymore. I've been in a euro dollar long position, and at pretty much close to the highs, around about 111 or so here. When I looked at my accounts around that time, I was up around about £150,000. Ultimately, it's rolled over, trailing stopped me out. I'm now out of that market this week. As I'm recording this, I must mention that I'm away, so I'm recording these. I've recorded these videos before heading off on annual leave. But how would you feel? It's ended up, not 150,000. It's rolled all the way back over. It's not a loss, but it's a much small in relative terms profit. I think around about 20,000 in the end. So how would you feel when you're in open profits and then it rolls back over? How would you react to that? I'm using this as an example because I know that for some people that would be quite shocking to them, because to have £150,000 of profit, don't get me wrong, I would love to have banked £150,000 of profit, but I have to stick with my plan as well, much like everybody has to stick with whatever your plan is for a given trade, or if you have an overall strategy approach, whatever it is. So you have to ask yourself, how would you deal with that? And again, it always comes back down to mindset. It's just doesn't matter what the numbers are, as much as that would be lovely. If with the benefit of hindsight, if I had a crystal ball, yep, I would have banked it, of course. But you have to shrug off trades, no matter what the size of the trade. If you get into a trade and it goes into profit and it rolls over and then just stops you out, whatever the amounts are, you have to get good at dealing with that. Otherwise, the market wins. As I always say, the market is trying to force you into making mistakes. So if you get into a trade that ends up rolling back over and you allow yourself to get frustrated about that, oh God, I was up in all this profit up here and it's rolled over now, and oh, I'm disappointed and frustrated. The market is winning because all that's happening is you're getting emotional. The more you get emotional, the more likely you're going to make mistakes on your next trades, because you're emotional. You're going to carry that baggage into the next trades. Right, next time I'm not going to stay with my plan. I'm going to get into profit and I'm just going to bank it. And all those sorts of things happen. So our job as traders is to not let the market win. The market is trying to get you emotional all of the time. The market is trying to get you to making future mistakes, if that can happen. If you look at it that way and just say, I'm just following my trading plan, it just didn't work out. There's no point getting disappointed or frustrated about that, as much as in my circumstance there. As much as I'd have loved to have had that gain up there. But I can't allow myself to get that emotional about it. It's just another trade. There'll be another trade that will come along that might be a six-figure trade at some point. And then that one will, and that's the attitude to have towards it. Well, there's always going to be another one. And there always is. There you go, some food for thought today. By all means, answers on it, or say answers, there's no question being posed. But if you've got any comments on that type of thing, when trades go up and they roll over, the one thing that I will head off at the pass is, because people might say, could you have trailed your stop more aggressively, up here or whatever? Well, of course. But then if I'd have trailed my stop aggressively, then that means I would have got stopped out probably on this pullback as well. So there's a trade-off between trailing stops aggressively. They're almost going to guarantee you're going to get stopped out. And they're also going to guarantee that you will never get to those bigger targets. It's not that you can't be profitable with that, but over the long run, it depends on whether that's your plan. But for me, the longer I want to, or the bigger the trade that I want to hold on for, then I have to give the trade a wider berth, because there's always going to be retracements. And it just so happens that on this occasion, this retracement here was enough to knock my stops out because of the add-ins. As I add into winning trades, of course, I therefore, in order to be able to add in, I have to trail my stops up a bit. I give them as much of a wide berth as I can, but that's what happens there. Anyway, I'm not emotional about it. I just take it, dust yourself down, and I move on to the next trade. There you go. But how would you have dealt with a situation like that?